Okay, I've knit some here, and I went ahead and purposefully dropped a stitch. I'm going to pull it out a couple of rows. Let's go 3. Now, what you want to do is you're going to go in with your right hand needle and just grab that loop. And then I'm going to take the very first, you see there are 3 bits of yarn here for the 3 stitches that I pulled out. So the very first one, the shortest one, right above it, we're going to go ahead and slide that onto the needle. Right hand needle. Then you take your left hand needle, you take the stitch that's intact and pull it over the piece of yarn you just picked up, and now you've picked up that stitch. Now we go and find the very next piece of yarn, which is going to be again the shortest one. Slip it onto the end of your right hand needle, take the left hand needle with the second loop on, slip it over the first, and you've picked up another stitch. And then we're going to do it again. Slip it onto the right hand needle, take your left hand needle, pull your loop over, and you've picked up your stitches. Now you're going to slip it back to your left hand needle. Now if you look carefully here, you're going to see a nice column of neat stitches, but it doesn't match what you're knitting because this is garter stitch, and I picked them up in the stockinette stitch manner. So what we need to do is that very first one needs to be picked up from the back. So I'm going to go ahead and slip it off and slip 1, 2, 3, just like we did. The only difference here, I'm going to turn it around. Let's just get this yarn out of the way. So I pick up that loop. Oops, I want to change the mount so that it's not twisted. You always want the front leg of your stitch to be on the needle facing, how do I describe it? If it's twisted, the back leg is in front. If it's sitting properly, untwisted, the front leg is in front. Okay, so we're going to get that stitch. That piece of yarn, the shortest one, we want to pick up. We just kind of look at here, fiddle around, go, okay, this is the piece of yarn I want. So I'm going to slip it on the end of my needle. Take your left needle, pull that loop over, and they're on there. Now you just want to reverse that again. You want that front leg in front, or the right hand leg in front. Now we have to turn it around. Get that stitch. Now you see our extra yarn here is in the front. I'm just going to grab my stitch, pull that piece of yarn in the back of it, and slip it back on the needle. I put it on that piece of yarn that I want to pick up, slip it on the end, take your left hand needle, grab that loop, and pull it over. Now we know we're going to be flipping it around again, so we can just, again, I pinch that stitch with my fingers, put that piece of yarn in the back, put my stitch back on the needle, turn it around. I need to put that stitch on my right hand needle, so I do that. I'm such a dork, I just put the yarn in the front, what is now in the front of the stitch. I didn't want to do that, so I'll just flip it back, not a big deal. Stitch on the right needle, grab that piece of yarn, whoops, and pull it over. Reverse the stitch mount. Now when we turn it around, here's our working yarn, you can see that we've picked that stitch up and all is well.